Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. The film begins with a group of kung fu warriors flying through the sky and singing. They are in a place called Kingal, which houses several schools dedicated to teaching kung fu. Later, Zhang, who was a student at the renowned kung fu school. Zhang was weak and unsuccessful in kung fu, but he was a kind-hearted person, and all the teachers liked him and wished their sons could be like him. He would watch the kung fu students flying and enjoying themselves, wishing he could soar like them one day. Unfortunately, he was too busy to have such dreams, as he was primarily responsible for preparing meals for the students, making sure they had food every day. In the school, there was a girl named Tian, and Zhang was deeply in love with her, but it was a one-sided love. Tian saw Zhang as a brother she never had. While they were all eating together, everyone was disappointed with Zhang because, despite being at the school for around 10 years, he hadn't learned anything in kung fu and was incredibly weak, lighter than a feather. Then, Tian took Zhang to teach him something from what she had learned. She showed him how to focus and control his mind, asking him to concentrate. However, Zhang was more captivated by the beauty of her eyes and features, and instead of focusing on the training, he kept gazing at her, lost and unable to concentrate on anything else. After that, Zhang begins to recount his past, saying, 10 years ago, when I was coming back home, I saw an electric circle near the house. My father, who was a kung fu teacher at the time, was fighting a demon wearing a mask. Zhang continues, at that time my father was about to kill the masked demon, but the masked demon attacked him with a lightning storm that destroyed the entire village, and my father died. All my relatives died too. Since then, I have vowed to avenge them all and kill the one responsible for it. Then a large number of kung fu masters arrive at the village to investigate what happened, and Tian, who was young at the time, asked her father to let Zhang become a student at the kung fu school. She begged him repeatedly until he agreed to her request. Since then, Zhang has been a student at the kung fu school. Returning to the present, Zhang says to Tian, even though 10 years have passed, I still can't find out who killed my village's people and separated me from my parents. Then, all the kung fu masters gather and discuss their upcoming competition, in which many kung fu students will participate. At that time, one of the masters says, I have a daughter named Kishuki who will be participating in this competition. She is extremely talented, and I'm confident she will win and take first place. Later, all the students go at night to watch Kishuki's training because they're curious to see her in action and learn about her training. However, in the commotion, they push Zhang, and he ends up falling in front of Kishuki and her fellow trainees. At that time, Kishuki punishes Zhang by applying insect powder on his body, causing him great itching and discomfort. However, when he returns to his school, Tian learns about it, treats him, and makes him feel better, curing the itching. Zhang then tells her, I wish I could get injured every day, Tian, just so your fingers could touch me and I could feel their softness. At that time, the oil that Tian used for Zhang was very rare and difficult to find, but Tian managed to get it just for Zhang. Zhang then feels that Tian is beginning to respond to him and has feelings for him, especially after she placed both her hands on his face and pleaded with him because he was in such a pitiful state. The next day, Zhang goes to the lake and calls out to someone inside. A giant dragon emerges from the lake. This dragon was Zhang's friend, and Zhang would bring large amounts of food for it every day. Zhang then tells the dragon, I'm thinking, dude, that I should confess my love to Tian before it consumes me with the fire of my longing. Afterward, Zhang goes to meet Tian, and she gives him her father's kung fu book. At that moment, it is clear that Tian wants Zhang to participate in the competition and become something greater than even the greatest kung fu masters. Zhang gets motivated, studies, and practices the drills in the book. During this time, he notices that the pendant around his neck is glowing red. This pendant, which belonged to his father, was given to him long ago with the promise that it contains great power and could turn him into a ghostly warrior. At that moment, Zhang recalls his father's words in the pendant. Suddenly, a monkey appears, provoking Zhang and trying to steal the pendant from him. Zhang then starts running, with the monkey chasing him for the pendant. As Zhang runs, the monkey throws a stone at him, causing him to fall into the lake. However, thanks to the power of the pendant, Zhang manages to rise from the water. When he emerges, he finds the monkey waiting for him, still trying to grab the pendant. Zhang grips the pendant tightly, but the monkey bites him before fleeing. At that moment, something strange happened. The pendant began to drain all of Zhang's blood. Then, a gigantic staff emerged from the lake, merging with the pendant and causing a massive explosion. This staff was known as the blood-sucking staff. At that moment, a massive vortex formed in the sky due to the staff. All the kung fu masters came out to witness the scene, astonished by its power. The kung fu masters then declared that the blood-sucking staff had indeed appeared again, which would likely cause significant trouble as spirits would reappear to claim it and a new conflict might ensue. Then the Ghost King and the demon, who were observing the staff. The king orders the demon to retrieve the staff for him. Meanwhile, the staff returns to Zhang, who is sitting on the ground, terrified and bewildered by what has happened. During this time, the monkey, which was about to die in a swamp, is saved by Zhang using the staff. The monkey, now rescued, departs after Zhang's intervention. Then, a strange girl comes and attacks Zhang to take the staff from him. However, Kishuki and her companions arrive and rescue Zhang from the girl. At that moment, Zhang focuses on his hand and finds that the blood and the bite mark have healed. He realizes that the staff has the power to heal and mend any cuts or wounds. The next night, the strange girl returns to steal the staff from Zhang while he is sleeping. However, after taking it and trying to leave the cave, she finds that the staff returns her to the cave and refuses to leave. It seems that the staff is bound to Zhang and rejects being with anyone else. All night, the girl kept trying to take the staff, but without success. By morning, when Zhang wakes up, the girl quickly escapes from the place. Later, the Kung Fu masters gather together and inform Zhang that he will be participating in the Kung Fu competition. Zhang is extremely happy and overjoyed, with his excitement being palpable. Later, Zhang's friend arrives with new information about the competition. When Zhang approaches Tian, he finds her standing with his friend, and they both seem very happy and excited together. Zhang feels deeply disappointed and frustrated, realizing that the love of his life has feelings for someone else, and that someone is his own friend. Later, as Zhang is walking, he sees a group of people running towards him, and he starts running in fear. However, he soon discovers that these people are chasing after the strange girl who had tried to steal the staff from him. Zhang sits down to gather sticks to start a fire, and once again, the strange girl tries to steal the staff from him. However, the staff throws her to the ground, causing her to lose consciousness, and then it returns to Zhang's side. Later, Zhang starts preparing food to eat, and the strange girl contemplates whether to kill him. However, she changes her mind when Zhang turns to offer her some food. After they eat, they spend the entire night talking about the harshness of nights, longing, and the fire of love. They become friends and spend the night together. The next morning, the Kung Fu competition begins. The instructors announce that 63 students will be selected through a lottery, and the student who draws ball number 1 will automatically qualify for the next round without having to compete. The balls are released and fly up, with each Kung Fu student trying to catch their own ball. Since Zhang can't fly like the others, he finds a ball on the ground. As he approaches to pick it up, Kishuki notices him and throws her ball to him, swapping it with the one on the ground. When Zhang picks it up, he discovers that his ball is number 1, which means he automatically qualifies for the next round without having to compete in this stage. Then Zhang goes to Kishuki and asks her, "Why did you do that? Why did you swap your ball with mine and make me qualify automatically?" Kishuki replies, "I want to qualify through my own effort. I'm not interested in luck. I want to fight and battle." Then the Kung Fu Championship begins as the masters order the start of the competition. Many matches and battles take place among the participants, who are all very strong. Zhang is relieved and happy that he didn't compete in the first round, as it means he won't be eliminated early from the competition. Kishuki manages to win her match with all her strength, skills, and fighting prowess. However, despite her power, she sustains severe injuries and is bleeding. Her master decides that she shouldn't participate in the second round, fearing that her condition has worsened after the first round, and that she might get further injured if she continues. However, because Kishuki is stubborn, she refuses her teacher's suggestion and insists on participating in the entire tournament until she wins it. Reluctantly, the master agrees to let her continue in the competition. She then provides Kishuki with treatment to heal her wounds and recover quickly, so she can be fully prepared for the second round and eventually win the tournament. In the second round, Zhang competes against his opponent and manages to win the fight without any actual combat, thanks to his staff. The staff causes his opponent to lose consciousness, resulting in Zhang's victory. In the next round, Zhang faces off against his friend, while Kishuoki battles Tian. Zhang manages to defeat his friend, sending him flying and ultimately winning the fight. However, his friend points out that Zhang only won because of the staff, not because he's strong or a skilled fighter. Zhang becomes very upset by his friend's comment and decides to get rid of his staff, choosing to rely on his own abilities in future battles. On the other side, Kishuoki and Tian are locked in an intense fight, but Kishuoki ultimately manages to defeat Tian and emerges victorious. After that, Zhang's teacher scolds him for not revealing the power of the magical staff that gives him the ability to defeat even the strongest opponents. Later that night, the monkey appears and takes Zhang to the lake, where they find Kishuoki unconscious and lying on the ground due to the intense training she's been undergoing. Zhang tries to heal her wounds and wake her up. Kishuki manages to recover and becomes better than before. She thanks Zhang a lot for healing her, despite the competition between them the next day. She also tells him that she admires him and hopes they can be together forever. The next morning during the fight, Zhang's master tells him, Look, we've achieved something great by reaching this stage. Winning or losing doesn't matter as much as the fact that we've made a significant achievement that anyone would envy. The most important thing is to stay safe in the final fight, avoid injuries, and be in good health. You've already brought honor to us in the Kung Fu tournament. Then the fight between Zhang and Kishuki begins. Zhang is very weak and unable to do anything against Kishuki because he gave up his staff. He is very weak without it and has become cowardly like before, sustaining severe injuries. At that moment, Kishuki manages to hit Zhang with full force and throws him to the ground. Despite this, Zhang refuses to surrender and fights with all his might. Just as Kishuki is about to defeat him, the staff comes to his rescue at the last moment, healing all his injuries. When Zhang is on the verge of winning, he decides to lose deliberately to avoid causing Kishuki any further harm. Later, the mysterious girl who had tried to steal the staff returns and warns that the Ghost King will send all his minions and demons to claim the staff. Then, a large number of ghosts arrive and begin killing all the Kung Fu fighters. One ghost controls them with a puppet, another absorbs them and chokes them, and a third has a wheel-like leg that cuts them. Together, they manage to kill all the students defending their place. Then, all the Kung Fu teachers gather and decide that Zhang must die because he used magic during the competition. This poses a danger to all the competitors and could endanger their lives. To protect their students, they decide they must kill Zhang. However, the students then learn from the masters about the ghost attack on their village. They quickly rush to confront the ghosts, leaving Zhang in their magical prison until they return after dealing with the ongoing ghost battle that has persisted for years. Later, the girl who tried to steal the staff from the beginning comes in, puts the guards to sleep, breaks the prison lock, and frees Zhang, carrying him away on her back. As they are traveling, the Ghost King appears before them, revealing himself as the girl's father. He tries to take the staff from Zhang, but the staff returns to Zhang, refusing to be with anyone else. The Ghost King then attempts to kill Zhang, but the girl, who is his daughter, intervenes to counter her father's magic. However, she is thrown away and loses consciousness. A massive battle ensues between Zhang and the Ghost King, with the Kung Fu masters and students joining forces to help Zhang and combat the Ghost King's magic, which aims to control the staff and dominate the world. Kishuki and Tian arrive, intending to kill the girl who has been trying to steal the staff. However, Zhang intervenes, revealing that the girl is with them and not evil. The Kung Fu masters battle the Ghost King, who unleashes a powerful thunderstorm. Zhang recalls that his entire village was destroyed by a thunderstorm and realizes that one of the Kung Fu masters was responsible for killing his father. He joins forces with the other masters to confront and ultimately defeat the Ghost King. Before dying, the Ghost King warns that there is an evil weapon controlling Zhang, which will lead to great problems for them. Zhang transforms into a dangerous evil being, and despite the Kung Fu master's efforts, they are unable to defeat him. Zhang specifically targets the master who killed his father while attempting to seize the magical staff. Zhang prepares to fight his master who killed his father, but at the last moment, Tian intervenes to save him and prevent his master's death. Tian successfully helps Zhang recover from the evil force controlling him. Zhang then asks Kishuki to kill him to rid himself of the evil spirit. Although Kishuki's master encourages her to kill Zhang, Zhang's master, who had killed his father, stops her from doing so. Kishuki asks Zhang to leave the village and live on his own, while they go their separate ways. Zhang agrees, taking the daughter of the Ghost King with him, and they leave the village forever. The movie ends,